Alright, so today we're going to learn the heel flip. Yet another flip trick invented in the 80s by Rodney Mullen. Some people learn heel flips first, some people learn kick flips first. It's up to you which one you want to try and learn first. If you're having trouble with kick flips, maybe consider trying heel flips instead. They might end up being easier for you. Now, like with pretty much any other flip trick, the ollie is absolutely foundational. If you can't ollie, or your ollies are really bad, you're really not ready for the heel flip or the kick flip. Go watch my how to ollie video, and then come back to this video, because even though it may be possible to do a kick flip or a heel flip with a bad ollie, you're going to have a really hard time, and your heel flip or kick flip, if you do achieve it, is going to be a really bad one. Learn to ollie first. That's my advice. Okay, so I'm assuming if you're still watching, you've got a pretty solid ollie. Let's move on to foot position and weight distribution for the heel flip. Now I'm going to put my front foot about 1.5 inches behind the bolts, and I'm going to have the edge of the board lined up exactly, almost exactly, with the divot between the toes and the ball of my foot indicated here in red. You do pretty much want to have the edge of your board lined up in that divot. That's how I do it anyways. There are other foot positions, but I'm explaining how to heel flip the way I heel flip. So for the back foot, you want to have it pretty similar to an ollie setup, but you want to scoot it about 1 inch or maybe 1/2 inch closer to the heel side edge of your board. The heel side edge of your board is the side behind you, the side that your heels are on, as opposed to the toe side of your board, which is in front of you. You should already be familiar with the way that you set your feet up for an ollie, and so you should be able to tell how my back foot is just slightly a little bit further back towards the heel side than it is for an ollie, and you should try to replicate the same thing when you're trying to heel flip. I'll say a little bit more about foot position and weight later on, but for now let's get to the actual technique for the heel flip. And here it is. You're going to flip the board with this part of your heel or your shoe as opposed to a kick flip, right off the edge, just like I'm demonstrating here. That is actually how the board will flip. So just like with the ollie, you're going to send your weight upward, jump, pop, slide out, and instead of just sliding straight out, of course, you're going to kick out, actually hitting or knocking against the nose of your skateboard on the front side of it, and that is what will cause it to flip. It is very much sort of an up and out motion, same as with a kick flip. The way that a heel flip feels is very similar to an ollie until the point that you flick out with your heel. That is why the ollie is so foundational for tricks like kick flips and heel flips, because basically up until the point that you flick out or kick out with your foot, with your toes or your heel, it's almost identical to an ollie. So obviously you've got to have the ollie mastered first, since the ollie is basically a building block. Now for the heel flip, I would say that you want to have your shoulders pretty squared up with your feet. You'll notice that the foot position for the heel flip is very square, particularly the front foot, which is very straight on the board. The kick flip, your foot is going to be more pointy, but with the heel flip, you're going to have it lined up really straight with that divot between your toes and ball of your foot. So you want to have your shoulders and your body aligned really in that squared up position with your feet, really parallel with your skateboard. This is more important for the heel flip, I would say, than it is for the kick flip. Now, as far as weight distribution goes for the heel flip, you're going to want to favor, or at least I do this, your back foot in the way that you distribute your weight. You're going to have a little bit more weight on your back foot as opposed to your front foot when you're bending down, popping to do a heel flip. You also want to have a lot of your body weight over your butt and sort of the back of your body, so like the heels and your butt. And you sort of want to imagine yourself as if you're sort of sitting in a chair, and you want to try to hold your weight that way in the air. So you want to have that really square setup. You want to be really parallel with your skateboard. You want to have that weight back over your heels and your butt, and you want to keep it that way throughout the execution of the trick. Remember too that not only should your weight distribution favor the heel side and your butt, but it should also favor your back foot. So a lot of your weight should really be sort of centered around the heel of your back foot. Even though the heel actually won't be on the skateboard, you need to sort of imagine that as where all of your body's weight is sort of centered. With that being said, if you need to, feel free to scroll back in the video to where I was demonstrating the foot positioning, and even just maybe pausing the video there to study exactly how I have my feet lined up so that you can duplicate it. Now, skateboarding is an individual enterprise, and people do have different ways of doing the same tricks. So I would suggest experimenting with slightly different foot placements if mine isn't working for you. You may move your foot an inch up or an inch down, half an inch up, half an inch down. You may not want to line up exactly with that divot. You may want to put your foot further out or further back in. You may want to adjust how your back foot's set up. Experiment with very, very minute changes in your foot placement. And sometimes that can be really fruitful. That can actually help you to learn tricks a lot faster, figuring out exactly which foot placement works best for you. So don't be scared to do that, but also don't do it too quick when results aren't immediate. Because skateboard tricks are hard, they're going to take you a long time to learn. That's just how it is. Even if you have already figured out exactly the foot placement that's going to work the best for you, that's only half the battle. You're still going to have to go through the hard process of learning how that trick works and feeling it out. One thing that can be really helpful, and the reason that I shoot my tricks from so many different angles in slow motion, is for you to actually just ignore what I'm saying or just put it to the side if it's not very helpful, and actually just watch this footage and examine it really closely. Watch how my feet move, watch how my body moves, watch where I'm holding my weight in the air. Just watching these slow motion clips, even if there was no voiceover, just watching these clips could potentially help you learn how to do this trick. So really pay close attention to these clips. That's why I put them here. Really pay close attention to how I'm doing this trick, and you may find that that really helps you a lot. There are some other tips that I also suggest for other tricks, like the kickflip or the ollie. One of them is to try and flip the board and only land it with one foot when you're first learning. So try to do it maybe stationary, like in the grass or in a sidewalk crack. Try to get the board to flip. Don't try to land on it. Just try to form the trick. And then when you get it flipping, try to land it with just one foot, just the back foot, then just the front foot. If you can do that, that means you're close, right? So that should be encouraging. Another thing you can do is to try to hold on to something like a railing, a swing set, or the quarter pipe at your local skate park to prevent yourself from falling and to sort of get some more hang time to figure out the flipping technique. Okay, so quick recap. You want to have squared up shoulders. You want your weight to favor your back foot, your butt, and the heel side of your body. You're going to do everything just like an ollie up to the point when your foot reaches the nose, at which you flick out or kick out with the part of the heel that I showed you in the video earlier. And that is pretty much going to cover it for the heel flip. Let me know in the comments if you're having any problems that I didn't address. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, help this content reach more new skaters. Till next time, peace out, keep shredding.